Have you ever wanted to apply for a job at Nordeus? If so, Sara from our talent acquisition team will guide you through it.
That's right. I'm excited to tell you more about our hiring process and answer some of the frequently asked questions we've been getting lately. So, let's start.
So, what can I expect from the process?
We think of our hiring process as a two-way street. This means that our goal is not only to get to know you better through each stage, but also to provide you with the full picture of what the future at Nordeus could look like for you. As you progress through the process, you will soon see that each round has a specific focus. Some interviews will dive deeper into your technical skills, while other rounds will emphasize various aspects of team fit, which is something we value just as much as your technical excellence. So with all of that in mind, we try to dedicate enough time to each candidate so you have the opportunity to ask us anything that can help you make an informed decision about joining Nordeus.
How many selection rounds do you have? And what's your interview loop like?
Hiring process really depends on the role and the discipline. But let's take a look at some of the common stages you can encounter in your interview journey. To kickstart the process, you will need to, of course, submit your application. So make sure that you've included the latest version of your CV, a cover letter, and for creative roles, a sample of your work, such as portfolio, showreel, or a link to your website. Then the first interview is with one of our team members from talent acquisition. It will be over Zoom, and most of the chat is going to be in English, since that is our official language given the large number of experts working here at Nordeus. This round is where we dig deeper into your skills and experience, and we make sure to answer all of your initial questions regarding the role itself, our teams, and our ways of working. You will also get all of the information regarding the process, and you will know what to expect in the coming weeks.
And what's the next step?
Next up is the meeting with a hiring manager, and this is usually somebody from the same discipline as you, so you can expect to chat more about the craft itself, relevant project that you did, and how they might translate into the role you applied for. So feel free to chit-chat about your own interests and hobbies because there are solid chances you may have similar ones. Also, if you have any concerns or doubts about the role scope or expectations from your future manager, this would be an ideal time to ask. Remember, a hiring manager is somebody who is very skilled at your craft and they can really help you get a better feel for the ins and outs of your discipline. The following is the technical round, and this is where things start to look a bit different based on whether you're an engineer, an artist, or some other type of a professional. But basically, the idea behind this stage is to mimic the everyday work in the role. So you may encounter coding sessions, analytical tasks, artistic tasks, or we may give you a business challenge and ask you to present your solution. But regardless of the format, this is where you get to showcase your skills and apply knowledge to real-life situations and demonstrate how you can contribute effectively in your future role. Let's move on. As the majority of the process takes place over Zoom, the real magic happens when you come to our office for the on-site interviews. We believe that spending time with the team in an informal environment, such as over a coffee or a lunch, is a great way to get to know our culture better and for us to see how we would function together. In addition to meeting the team, in this final stage, you will also talk to our HR partner, head of discipline, or somebody from our leadership team. And these interviews aren't just about your career. We're curious to know what you're passionate about, what your hobbies are, and what unique perspective you bring.
But how can I get noticed? How should I prepare?
Let's start with a quick myth buster. Contrary to what many people may believe, we don't make a difference between referrals and standard applications. However, if you do know somebody that works at Nordeus, it's a great idea to reach out to them as it can be really helpful for you down the road to get additional insights into our culture or the role itself. As we go through each application, we look for additional cues to decide who is going to the next round. So having a cover letter can be a great way to stand out and give us some additional context around your motivation. As you write it, think of it as a story that connects the dots of who you are, what you're passionate about, and why you want to grow your career, especially here at Nordeus. As you move on to the next stage and start getting ready for an interview, here are the two things you can do almost right away. Reading the useful materials linked in our job post and checking out our games. It can be valuable for you to see what we're currently working on. Also, reading the job description once more and thinking about how your experience and knowledge relate to what we're looking for in this particular role can certainly help this preparation. Try to think of some specific examples that can illustrate your skills and relevant experience, and consider using the so-called STAR method as a guide when discussing those examples.
And the STAR is?
STAR is an acronym and a short for situation, task, action, and result, and it's essentially a technique that can help you give a more focused and structured answer. During the interview itself, try to relax and be present. Active listening is something that often goes underestimated but can truly be a game changer. It can help you focus on addressing the core of the question asked instead of trying to squeeze too much information into a single response or telling us what you think we may want to hear. Similarly, by asking thoughtful questions, you can really reflect your motivation and passion for a certain position. However, it's important to ask something you're genuinely curious about and not ask just for the sake of asking the question. Before each round, we'll make sure you know who you will be talking to next, so you can really use that information to better prepare and think about some questions in advance that would be relevant to the interviewer.
Apart from technical skills, are there other qualities you're looking for?
Since we really care about who joins our team, it's no secret that we can be quite selective when it comes to looking for certain characteristics. One of those is being a self-starter. This is somebody who is taking the initiative and being proactive in pursuing their passion, whether it's through work or academics. During the process, do not underestimate yourself and think of all of the projects and hobbies that can showcase your dedication and skills for the role you are applying for. This leads right into another trait that we really value, being persistent in delivering results and having the determination to turn ideas into reality. Game making is a long and multidisciplinary process filled with many challenges, and success in this industry often requires repeated attempts, learning from mistakes, and strong cross-team collaboration, which is why teamwork is also crucial for us. It helps us get things done faster and better. Also, curiosity is a big deal for us. We believe it fuels innovation, so having that eagerness to explore, learn, and try new strategies is something we are really excited to see in our teams.
Now, about interest in gaming. Does it matter for every role?
It matters more for some roles than others. For example, it's really hard to imagine people interested in game design or user research that are not gamers, because the nature of these roles is so closely tied to the game itself.
Do you offer feedback to candidates as part of the process?
Yes, we try to provide feedback at every stage of the process. However, at the very beginning, since we receive a large number of applications, we may not be able to provide detailed feedback on your CV. But we will always make sure to keep you in the loop regarding your application status. Then, as you go through a process that is inevitably longer, we want to make sure that your effort and time are reciprocated by our side. That is why, when it comes to feedback, we aim to make it a learning experience by highlighting your strengths and also areas for potential growth. So this way, even if your application was unsuccessful this time around, don't be discouraged to reapply again in 6 to 12 months, as this could be just enough time for you to get some additional relevant experience or develop a certain new skill. Believe it or not, we actually had a couple of hires that happened just like this.
Is that it? Anything else that's good to know?
That's it. So thank you for joining us in this behind-the-scenes tour of our hiring process, and we hope you now have a clear picture of what you can expect and how to ace it. To keep up with the latest open roles at Nordeus, make sure to check out our career page on our website and follow us on all social media. And hey, who knows, maybe we'll be chatting with you soon. See ya!